Happy Tuesday to you. We want to start you out with a live look outside. You can see not a cloud in the sky there on your Tuesday morning. Good morning. I'm Lauren Scafidi filling in for Corey Rose.
And I'm Jordan Chavez. Happy Tuesday. Hope you had a great long holiday weekend. Let's get a closer look at the rest of your week with your forecast with Jaden Knowles. Jaden, good morning.
Well, good morning, Jordan and Lauren, and good morning to everyone across the state. Overall, we are tracking another nice and warm day, similar to what we saw yesterday. You can see in New Raymond, just a little bit of rain, or should I say some dense fog on the camera lenses there. But overall here in Denver, we are talking about lots and lots of sunshine, and that will continue as we head into this afternoon. Noticing temperatures, the upper 60s as well as the low 60s. Early on this morning, around 6 a.m., temperatures were pretty chilly. We're talking about the low 50s, so you needed that light jacket, but we will be warming up nicely into the afternoon hours. Here's your current temperatures across the rest of the state. The upper 60s for the eastern plains, 40s and 50s in the high country, already to the low 70s towards the western slope. You're going to see a warm day this afternoon getting into the low 90s. Radar, we're nice and quiet and nice and dry as well. I really don't have a lot of rain in my forecast, although we are tracking the possibility of seeing maybe one or two brief gusty showers towards the foothills and down towards the San Juans this afternoon. Overall, our temperature, 86 is what's in my forecast with lots of sunshine. I'll tell you the timing and the details of what to expect for the rest of the day, as well as the next couple of days into the weekend. All of that in my full forecast. Jordan?
All right, Jaden, thank you. Most kids are returning to school now if they haven't already. And yesterday, over 1 million children in Shanghai headed back to class with a surprising student addition. So check this out. This tiny robot joined one of the over 4,000 schools that started up yesterday. It provided some schoolyard entertainment, doing some dances and walking around. Fifth grade students at that school are learning about robotics, and they also got to experiment with this robotic arm. They say they previously learned about programming in the computer lab. Of course, we're seeing a lot more of that, and they're learning it younger and younger now.
Yes, it's amazing. More children are being diagnosed with autism here in the U.S. Some experts credit updated assessment tools and resources for making it easier to identify. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us from Denver, where DPS has added new centers to support students with autism.
14 centers open across the Denver Public School District, and inside of each center, students can find a calm and comforting environment. So I want you guys to take a look at your screen. According to the CDC, 1 in 31 children has autism spectrum disorder. Right here across DPS, there have been 59% increase of students with autism since 2020. The spectrum has a large range, so over the years, the district has expanded resources to make sure that students have the support that they need. Inside of the new centers across Denver Public School District, students can get regular breaks to help them focus on each task. Plus, the classrooms include games and puzzles and plenty of paraprofessionals on hand to support.
So in the past, there had been disparities across the nation of students identified with autism. And now with stronger assessment tools, more culturally responsive and evidence-based, meeting the needs of our students across the nation, because of those assessments, we're able to now better assess and place students in autism centers if that's the center program that they need.
In the next few years, Denver Public School District, they said that they're going to add more centers. That way, students can have the resources and tools that they need. For now, I'm outside of the DPS headquarters. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
Very interesting, Brianna. Thank you. Well, visa delays and policy shifts are fueling a sharp drop in international students, and one university in Colorado is already feeling it. The Association of International Educators projects a 30 to 40% decline nationwide this year. At the University of Denver, enrollment is down about 25%. Officials there say problems getting to the U.S. are especially severe for students currently in India and China. Experts estimate if projections hold true, Colorado could miss out on $63 million in revenue.
Every time we lose an international student, it is not a lost tuition check, really. It is one less researcher in a lab, one less customer in a coffee shop, one less neighbor. And I hope the U.S. thinks of it in the same way.
DU says a lot of their international students are deferring their acceptance while they wait for their visa appointments. New at 9 o'clock, U.S. Space Command could be leaving Colorado Springs and moving to Huntsville, Alabama. According to a report from Reuters, the Trump administration could announce the move as early as today. President Trump is set to speak at noon Mountain Time. We're going to update you about that announcement both on air and on 9news.com.
In the past 24 hours, at least 10 people have been killed because of flooding in northern India. Authorities in New Delhi say the Yamuna River's water levels have crossed the danger mark, posing a major flooding threat for low-lying areas of the city. On the outskirts of New Delhi, floodwaters completely took over roads and even some apartments. In August, rain-related incidents in that area killed at least 29 people and caused damage to crops and livestock in the region. India's meteorological department warned that they could deal with more heavy rain in the area until Wednesday.
Right now, the number of people killed from a powerful earthquake in Afghanistan has climbed to 900. Rescue teams are searching for survivors after the 6.0 magnitude quake hit a mountainous region in the east late Sunday. Entire villages were flattened, leaving people trapped under rubble for hours. Officials say that the number of deaths could rise more as more areas are reached.
North Korea has long isolated itself, keeping its doors shut to the outside world. Now it's trying to project a different image with some beachside resorts, high-end cafes, and luxury storefronts. So far, only a handful of foreign tourists have seen it. So far, no Western or Chinese tourists are allowed here, just a handful of Russians. And strict COVID rules still apply. Some resorts are divided into domestic and international zones. Russian tourists are not allowed to mingle with everyday North Koreans, essentially keeping the foreigners in a bubble. The U.S. does still have a travel ban on Americans traveling to North Korea.
Today marks 80 years since the end of World War II. Japan signed a formal surrender on September 2nd, 1945. Americans celebrated in the weeks before after President Harry Truman announced Japan's surrender from the White House in August. World War II was one of the deadliest and most destructive conflicts in history and lasted for 6 years and resulted in millions of deaths. It also marks the only time that a nuclear weapon has ever been used in warfare. Yesterday, we celebrated Labor Day. That holiday actually has roots back in the 1800s when labor activists wanted a day to honor workers.
And before we get into this next part of the story, I want to clarify, my dress is cream. It's not white.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a bit of a controversial fashion rule that follows the holiday.
Okay.
That you shouldn't wear white after Labor Day, all right? So fashion experts, they have a lot to say about this. You know the drill. They say that while modern people don't follow this rule, it's rooted in history. Around this time of year, wealthy people would head back to the city from their beach vacations where they usually wore white clothing to keep it cool, but people would pack all of that white clothing away when they would come back to cities like New York. So my cream dress is okay today.
Listen, I say if they are buying your clothes, sure, tell me what to do. But as long as I'm paying the bills, I'll wear whatever I want.
There we go. I like it.
Yeah, Jaden hears me back there. You got me? Yeah, you don't get to tell me what to do unless you're paying for me, right? Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer, so it's time to say hello to fall, which means we are turning our attention to fall foliage, my favorite time of year. This year, extreme heat and heavy rain actually could impact those autumn colors, though. William Keaton's a professor at the University of Vermont. He says there are a variety of factors that determine what areas experience more vibrant colors than others, one being the vast contrast between temperatures during the day and at night, the types of trees, and also the landscape. This summer brought intense heat and excessive rainfall to parts of the country. Keaton says that those extreme weather patterns impact how vibrant the colors will be and when the leaves are going to start to change.
These kinds of extremes create stresses in trees. They begin to brown up and drop their leaves sooner than they otherwise would.
Keaton says that climate change could also cause the fall foliage season to shorten over time. If you do want to carve out time to see the fall colors, they typically peak in the beginning of October in the Northeast. Priceline just came out with a list of the best places for leaf peeping this year, and clocking in at #1 was the Hudson Valley region in New York. But if you want to stay closer to home, Boulder is actually #2 on that list. Also, if you kind of want more specific dates, just pay attention to your local meteorologist. We got Jaden Knowles over here, Chris Bianchi, all of them have a condensed breakdown. Katie LaSalle had one earlier I was trying to take a picture of it, but she changed the graphic too fast.
Yeah, Jordan put up his phone, and then all of a sudden
it went away. That's my luck, always.
We are going to see the colors a little bit earlier this year than we normally do, so
Right.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. You know, moving here from northern Michigan, I thought I was really going to miss the reds and the oranges and stuff, but I am so impressed by the aspen gold. Yeah. It's so gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, and that's in the high country. I will say there's a lot of imported trees around the metro area, and some of them coming from, you know, the East Coast and parts like that. So you kind of, if you stay in the metro area, you still got your reds and oranges a little bit.
Yeah, so you see it all here.